The new renters that we have, they have a dog, and when he's locked up, he literally barks. He's been barking since 8 a.m. So I just let him out, and I'm like, you might shit and piss all over the floor, but that's gonna have to happen because I'm on a podcast.
Okay, but can we just talk about the fact that every time we get together, something new, crazy thing has happened
Something's
in
going on.
either one of our lives? When
Yeah.
we're off, I will tell you what is currently going on in mine because it is.
Oh. Oh. I don't even know if this is actually working. I have like this old
No,
little mic.
you're perfectly fine. I have this just because I stream. And
Oh,
as you can tell, it's broken because it's together down here. So,
you must be streaming a lot, so that's okay. Oh
eh,
shit, where's my phone? Oh.
not recently, but I hope to get back like into it soon.
Mm-hmm.
But not recently. Too much has been going on. I'm literally about to be out of my house from next Thursday until the 16th of August.
Yeah, that's because that's not even the 1st of August yet, right?
Oh.
Thursday.
Actually, no, I think that is actually the 1st of August.
No, 2 weeks and 2 days is crazy. That's actually mental. Can you give me 1 sec? I don't know where my phone is, and I have like, oh fuck, this fucking dog is barking. Hold on. So right.
Fine. I have a old grumpy dog downstairs. It's my aunt's dog that we're currently watching.
How long do you have to watch him for?
That is part of the thing that we will talk about off camera.
Perfect.
Okay, so I have a quick question.
Hmm.
Have you seen the new movie Long Legs?
Yes, I have.
We also saw it.
Okay. What's the question?
No, that was the question, was if you had seen it or not, because
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I think maybe because it was kind of hyped up a little bit. I couldn't bang with it. I couldn't do it.
oh no, so I went in. We both went in actually. So we went 2 weeks ago for my friend's birthday.
Hmm.
We both went in. We had no idea. We hadn't seen the trailer. He actually thought it was a different movie than what it was.
What?
And so we're watching this movie with my friend and like her guy, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
And we're like, there's points of the movies where we just look at her and we're like, what in the world do you have us watching here right now?
No,
What is
literally,
happening? Like, what are
literally.
we watching? Can we like
And it
please?
didn't add up to me. And then just Nicolas fucking Cage is so like he is
I
so diabolical. It's ridiculous.
and the thing is I was like, oh, I love Nicolas Cage. Like I love
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. And so I see this movie and I walk out of the theater and I go, I wish I could get back the last 2 hours of my life
Yeah.
because one, he's like hardly even in the movie.
Yeah.
Two, really weird path that they went down.
Very weird. I did not expect any of that.
The whole religion demon. First of all, I had the movie figured out so early on, but I think it's because I'm into true crime so much.
Hmm.
But it took until the shooting of the doll for our friends to kind of click everything together.
Okay.
Actually, no. When they went to the mom's house that last time
Okay.
to put everything together. But we left the movie and my friend literally was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, one, you're never picking the theater again because you had me in some danky small theater and I'm not doing it.
No.
I said, and two, you're never allowed to pick the movie again because what
When he was in the car and he started screaming "Daddy," I lost it, bro. Literally was like, "This is where I should walk out of the theater." But I wanted to stay dedicated to the film. I wanted to see like true to this, like see where it went to.
halfway through we started booking our next thing.
And then- I saw
booking our
Long
next
Legs,
movie.
and then I saw another movie that same day. I can't remember what it was, but both of them were just not. They weren't it. They weren't. Let me see actually what movie it was because it's gonna throw me off if I don't know.
I was just so I was like, I
It's a
don't
disappointment.
it was.
And
And so
like when we checked into, the guy was like, "Oh, you're gonna have so much fun watching this." Why would you say that? Because now I'm expecting to have fun, and now I'm just pissed. Oh,
and
I
I
saw
didn't have fun.
Maxine. Maxine was good, but it doesn't compare to X. Or I mean, I liked Pearl too, but I don't know.
Okay. I was gonna say that's the Pearl. I couldn't remember if that was the Furiosa series or the Pearl series.
Yeah. No. That was
So
the
I haven't seen any of the Pearl movies. Lonnie has, and he really
okay.
likes them.
Okay.
I haven't. They're on my list, but eventually we'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, Maxine was cool. Kind of has like the same like cultish vibes.
I feel like that's a lot of the horror movies this day is like cultish vibes. And I'm like, can't you just make like a really good slasher movie again, please?
We haven't had a really good zombie movie in a
Since
long time.
what, World Z?
Yeah, World War Z. I mean, I will say All of Us Are Dead on Netflix, that show, they put their foot in that one. That was a really good show. It's like based on an anime. So have you heard of it?
All of Us Are Dead. I don't know. I'll have to look it up
It's
on.
based on an anime, and they like recreate, human, whatever they call that. They recreated it. So yeah, that was really good. That's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know this. I know this anime.
Okay. Yeah, I'm eagerly awaiting the next season.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to like look up the actual cover of the thing.
No, you're totally fine. Do you have like several screens in front of you right now?
Yeah, I have two. So I have this one over here that I'm watching you with that I usually have like my streaming like chat and everything on, and then my main monitor that I use to like look up stuff, read stories off of, and then I'll play games on this one.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. I just need to
Yeah.
make sure these dogs are not. Just need to go sit down, bro. Just need to sit down.
Also, the cut on your dog.
I don't even know who he is. He's cute though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
I mean,
he's my,
adorable.
but
Yeah.
yeah, let's not give a miniature poodle. It's not. And I still had to pay them full price. But they claim that like he gives them such problems that they can't cut him properly. And I will say like they always give them problems. Like that is something that they constantly tell me is like, oh, we couldn't do their tail today, or we couldn't do whatever today because they were biting us. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But this was like, I was really off the rocker.
All right. So I'm gonna get you in with like a slow, like a small story. It's nothing too big. And then
Sorry, we started.
yeah, we can.
No, we're fine. I didn't know how this works, so I just thought we were having a casual conversation. This is great. Let's go.
Okay, so I have a total of 5 stories for you today. We'll see if we get through all 5 or not.
Okay.
So this first one is called. It's off of r/digital nomad. I don't know this subreddit. That's my first time reading off of it, but this was hilarious to me. My partner doesn't want to join me, is the title of this. And this is a question. Me, 32 male, her 27 female. I work full time from home, self-employed. She works as an employee at a brick and mortar company. I told her to quit her job and will buy an RV looking at luxury class A's and travel the country before settling down and getting married and having kids. We have the money. She's only had the job for 6 months. We've been together for 5 years. She says she has no desire, but I feel like if I don't, I've wasted a once in a lifetime opportunity to experience something. Did any of you walk away from a relationship? Do you regret it? Or was it ultimately the right thing to do? Or how do you convince them to come with you? And what was your experience?
Okay. Now, I don't know. From my opinion on this, right? No ring on the finger. No kids. There's nothing like really lock this down. But you want me to quit my job
That I just got.
that I just got. I'm getting loyalty here. I might get a promotion next week. You never know. And you want me to quit my job for somebody who has not asked me to at least be his fiance.
After 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. So I think she's in the right, because why would you depend on somebody who does not have the loyalty to you and respect to wife you up first, but wants to get an RV and tell you to quit your job and basically run off with him?
Like literally, like why would I just, first of all, where was the conversation?
Yeah. Did that come out of nowhere? Like, was it a dream from the start? I'm confused.
I'm like, were you watching One Too Many Van Lifers on TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah. COVID happened and everybody got this idea to live the van life, get a dog,
So this is only from 7 days ago. So this is a recent. Like, I just had to go double check myself. I was like, this could have been a 2021 thing, and maybe he's now like this really successful van lifer. No, this was a week ago.
Absolutely. And he says like, "Oh, like we have the money," but like, how much money? Like, how much
Okay,
have
but
you
you
really
you
done?
have the money because you are both working.
Exactly. And why can't she just maybe have a remote job? Like, why is it full blown quit your job? Why can't we maybe get a new job or transfer to a new position that allows her to work remotely?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, why do you have this desire to drive in a van around the country?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I wouldn't do that personally.
I wouldn't either.
I think states are beautiful. I saw a video about Montana recently, and I was like, "Wow, this looks like we're
Montana looks fucking beautiful,
it looks
dude.
amazing." So, like, I could see wanting to do maybe the RV lifestyle, but maybe for, like, a month tops. Like, I
I was
would
gonna say
never full
I
blown just
couldn't.
dive straight into that. Absolutely not. No.
First of all, could you imagine? Because we both have a lot of pets. Could you imagine trying to do that with our pets?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They would not have it, and
My cats alone would be like, "What the actual fuck are you doing to me right now?"
yeah, they might run away, actually. They would hate that so
They
much.
oh, 100%. Like, so, like, I
No.
mean, here's my thing. She's 27, he's 32. If this is like, I don't think this is a deal breaker, but like if you're sitting here wanting to break up with her over this,
Mhm.
then leave. You weren't that attached in the first place.
No, I agree. Now,
Let her go.
would your opinion change if the vibe was by, let's say, state 4 or 5, he was gonna propose?
I don't know because how long are we getting to state 4 or 5?
Let's give it 3 weeks. It'll take us 3 weeks.
I don't know.
I think with that in play,
It would
a
be
little different.
different.
A little different.
But it's the fact that he goes, I feel like I would waste a once in a lifetime opportunity. Did any of you guys walk away from a relationship? Did you regret it? Like you're asking like the internet, is your relationship worth it? And
Yeah,
they don't know your relationship.
they don't. There's a lot of
You
questions.
know your relationship.
Yeah, there's too many nitty-gritty in betweens that we're not sure about. So,
Like
can't help
I've never gone to the internet and been like, oh hey, like, do you think, my relationship's worth it?
it.
Like, should I stay in this relationship?
And especially at that grown age as well. Like, oh my gosh. Have you been
30,
on Twitter recently?
huh?
Have you been on, like, Twitter recently?
Oh my god, I try to stay away from Twitter. Every time I
Okay,
open
no,
up
I was
Twitter,
gonna
there's
say,
a
like
penis.
yeah, okay, first of all, besides all the porn that's on there, my feed is constantly filled with, like, 21, 22-year-olds asking, like, the public, like, "Should I cheat on him? Should I break up with my man for this? This is what my man screenshot, like, sent me. Am I tweaking?" And it's, like, so many people that are asking the world for their opinions, and I'm just like, "Dude, get the fuck offline. Like, go touch some fucking grass. Go talk to your best friend.
No,
Go write in a journal, but do not go on Twitter and ask Twitter for their opinions. Like, it just don't make no sense.
it
None.
don't make any sense. But also, my whole thing is if you are in your teens, if you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, even late 20s, like, if the vibes are off, leave.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you're so young, like you have so much to experience still in life. And it's like you can attest to it, I can attest to it. The way that I thought at 18, 19, 20, fuck, even like 2 years ago. Oh my God, that's 3 years ago. I am so much older than I thought I was. But even just like 3 years ago, like I'm a completely different person in the way that I think and process things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like go experience things, experience other people, and figure out what you actually like.
That is the key. And girl, you know what I'm saying? That's a little journey I'm on right now. I'm trying to figure out like what am I okay putting up with? What am I not okay putting up with? I actually have a video coming out soon about like what I've done like dating wise to like help me be more intentional with my dating. And one of them is like creating a whole sheet of paper where it's like this is everything that I want in a husband. And then on the back of that paper, writing everything that I think that man would want in a wife. And then I'm working on myself to become that person. And then hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the world will align.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
That man will be
Listen,
seated in front of me.
the self awareness that I did not have when I met Lonnie,
You were younger. It's okay. We'll give you a pass.
he met me when I was 21.
Yeah,
just turning 22.
no, 21, like my 21-year-old self compared to my 26-year-old self, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I really
First
was.
of all, I think my 21-year-old self could beat my ass.
No, no, I had such a big backbone.
Like,
Nowadays, I'm scrunched up like this. And, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Back then, I would have beat a bitch's ass. Like, absolutely
right?
not. I was not having it. Absolutely not.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, amazing stories that I now have, but like I look back and I'm like, you were you were insane.
Yeah,
You needed to like knock it down a few notches because
absolutely.
what were you doing?
Yeah, there was some times where I definitely believe I should have been locked up, but here I am instead, which is
Bro,
great.
there's some times where I'm like, how did I survive?
Oh yeah,
How am I
I
currently living?
head was spinning. I was in my head praying because I thought I was gonna die that
No,
night.
literally. Okay, so next story is from r/am I the asshole, which is kind of the Reddit that
Love
everybody goes to.
yes.
So the title of this one is "Am I the asshole for standing my ground on the unwritten rule of the middle seat gets the armrest
Huh?
on a plane?"
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
To set up the story, I'm a bigger guy at 6'5" and 215 pounds. I travel a ton for work and am mostly fortunate enough to always get an aisle seat, which, by the way, I always respect the unwritten rule that the person in the middle gets both of their arms rest to make up for the being in the seat. This time I was not so lucky and my assignment had me in the dreaded middle seat. To start off, I was the first person to be seated in my aisle and was sitting somewhat comfortably in my middle seat and enjoying the armrest. In comes this, let's just call him Stumpy, shorter and rounder fella that sits in his assigned aisle seat. Upon sitting down, he begins to try and scoot my arm off the rest. It may be worth noting that he was trying to type on his computer. Nope, I wasn't having it and kept firm and maintained my position. As people are coming to board, the traveler assigned to the window seat comes in, and Stumpy and myself have to get up to accommodate. As she gets in, Stumpy quickly sits down before me and now thinks he can boss hog the armrest I was previously using. I look over and said, "I'm afraid I was using that." And then he knock his arm off the raining and regaining my position.
Okay.
Here's where things get a little bit more heated. He begins frustratingly hammering away on his keyboard and huffing and puffing in frustration. Then he places his elbow on top of mine and proceeds to grind his elbow into mine. I let this go on for about 1 or 2 more minutes before I tell him, "Look, I'll share the top part of the rest with you, but you got to get your elbow off of me." He ignores me completely and continues to grind his elbow down. Now I'm pissed and I say in a rather loud voice, "If you don't get your goddamn elbow off of me, we're gonna have a problem." Stumpy stops and looks at me. "Excuse me, but are you threatening me?"
Yeah.
From there, he raises his hand like a little tattletale and gets the attention of the attendant and claims he's in fear of his life and he would like me removed from the plane. Some other guy a couple rows back that must have heard me chimes into Stumpy's defense. "I'm genuinely worried that I may get escorted off the plane and get a fine or something." The attendant walks away for a moment and finds a passenger that's willing to switch seats with Stumpy, and the plane can now take off. Luckily for me, this new aisle buddy didn't even try the armrest. So I know the armrest may seem like a trivial thing to get in a fight over, but I felt like I was in my right to hold my ground. Maybe I could have chosen some different words in hindsight, but I feel like his elbow was digging into me was a dick move in its own right. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. You kind of are.
I feel like they were both.
Oh,
Listen,
absolutely. Look, we're not giving.
the whole like elbow thing, like let me grind my elbow
That's
into
what I'm
you,
saying.
like
And is this skin on skin? Because that's disgusting. You don't know what the fuck
right?
people got going on. So that's
And
nasty.
and this was
Um,
6 years ago.
damn.
So
Yeah.
like, this is right before COVID.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. No. I mean, okay,
Mhm.
so My thing is, you're 6'5", you're like 200 pounds. You usually have to travel for work. I think at this point, he should be reaching out to his boss or wherever he works and letting them know if he has to travel for work, he has to always get business class. He has to always get first class. He has to always make sure that he has a window seat, aisle seat, whatever, he prefers. But I think at this point, for him to be that size, that's something that he needs to stick up with his company, his business. I don't think that's really, it kind of sucks that he has to deal with that, but that should be like his first step.
But on top of that, like, also, you shouldn't threaten someone when you're flying on company time because you're still technically you're on company time.
Yeah.
Your company has to not only buy your plane tickets, they have to pay you for every like minute that you're in the air.
Yeah.
So you're still on payroll.
Yeah, and this is not a good look for the company. Absolutely not.
No.
I also don't believe there is a middle seat rule. I think when you're in the middle seat, you're kind of just fucked. Like, I
I
think,
think
hopefully you can put both your elbows up and the people to your left and your right are nice enough. But I don't think there is an official rule that, your aisle seat, not the aisle, but the middle seat should always have both, armrests.
I think it's oh God, I just lost the word. Courtesy. I think it's a common courtesy to
Yeah.
give because I'm always a window girly. Have always been a window girly, will always be a window girly. And I'm always hunched over like close to the window looking out, sleeping, reading, doing something, and
Mhm.
I'm not like even worried about that armrest. So I'm like whatever the middle person can have it. And
Mhm.
usually the middle person is going to be Lonnie.
Yeah. No, literally. It's usually the
Like
person, Yeah, no, I
like I'm
definitely agree with you. Same thing with the aisle seat. Usually, if I'm in the aisle, I try to like stick towards the aisle. But like, I mean, it is kind of frustrating having people like bump you on your sides and stuff. But that's also one of those things where if you have the aisle seat, you already know
it's
what it comes
right.
with. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just feel like get your window seat or get first class or shut the fuck up. Like,
No,
that's
literally.
the
So
solution.
I think at least like if your company's booking, at least tell them like, listen, I want an aisle seat. Like
Mhm.
I need an aisle seat. So I know like at least with where I work, like if we want to upgrade to business, we have to pay out of pocket the difference.
Okay. Okay.
But depending on where you're going, it's not that much money. So
Mhm.
like for my upcoming trip, I'm not doing that because it's thousands of dollars and
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, you're
But if
traveling
you're
very far too. So,
exactly. But if like you're like traveling from like your city to like, I don't know, let's say they live in like New York and they're traveling to DC. That's not that big of a
yeah,
deal.
it's going to be like $30 if.
Just pay it. Just pay it.
Yeah.
So
Like a cheapskate.
top comment on this was sounds like you're both assholes. Him for elbowing you, but you for knocking his arm off at a point where that didn't really seem necessary and being very hostile with your choice of words.
Yep. He's got it on lock. He knows what's up.
He does respond to that and he goes, yeah, in hindsight, I thought I could have handled the situation differently.
I think in hindsight, he thought that this guy was going to give in. And that's the problem is people always assume that like, that's almost like, the whole ordeal of if you have a family, but they don't book with each other, then they expect the people to like change their seats so the families can sit. Yeah. It's just one of those things where you might assume that because that might be common courtesy for most people. Me, bitch, I'm not motherfucking courteous when it comes to
Oh, do you want to hear the next title, the next story off of Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to switch seats with a kid on an
Oh
8-hour flight?
my God. The answer is already no. I'm always blaming the parents. I will never give a fuck. I'm always blaming the parents.
The only time where I'm like, I'm not necessarily going to blame the parents is if it's Southwest, but they're changing that policy.
Yeah. As they
You,
should. As they should. I mean, families do board first, but it's kind of like,
yeah,
I guess how many families are on this one flight kind of thing, because that would determine how close you guys can sit to each other.
exactly. So, am I the asshole for refusing to switch seats with a kid on an 8-hour flight? This was my second 8-hour flight on my way home from Africa via Dubai. I had booked the aisle seat so I could get up without bothering others and a special meal due to health requirements. I boarded the plane and then found my seat and settled in. Okay, a family gets on with 3 kids. They don't speak much English and ask if I could switch seats with one of their kids so they can be together. The father of the family wasn't sat anywhere near the mother and kids, so it looked like So it looked to me like they had left their seats to random assignment. I initially said yes, thinking it was just a move across the aisle, but then realized they wanted me to switch and sit in a middle seat, and I said no. Another passenger then gets up and says he has a seat in the back that I can move to, no idea how. And I said no. I said that I booked my seat and ordered a dietary meal, and there was no way I was moving to a middle seat. He then starts loudly criticizing me and saying he hopes I understand that I'm splitting a family up. This eventually attracts attention from the crew because it was holding up boarding. They got a passenger on the other end of the row to switch and sit somewhere else so their kids could sit together. The other passenger from before then starts loudly saying to his kids in the family, "Did you understand what happened? She thought her seat was too special, so she wouldn't let you sit together." I told the guy to mind his own business, and he responded that he wasn't talking to me. I was exhausted and sleep deprived, and at this point, I told him to stop talking about me and just can it. I didn't think I was in the wrong here. I organized myself beforehand, booked my seat, and it felt like it was quite unfair to have a random guy criticize me to half of the cabin for not wanting to swap the middle seat for an 8-hour flight. Am I the asshole?
Hell no. First of all, we know she's white because she said candid. I've never heard that fucking saying, that phrase from anybody that is not white. So good to know. However,
Listen, the way that this is just worded, there were so many words in here where I was like, I have to read this in my head real quickly so I know that I'm pronouncing the right word.
no, I totally get that. Absolutely not the asshole. First of all, you want me to switch with this random bystander who has a seat in the back of the plane? I
And
will
in the
literally,
middle.
bro, I will put my seatbelt on with my fucking teeth before I do that shit. Absolutely not. That is no, I would never in my life. Secondly, nobody is splitting up a family other than the airline because the airline should automatically seat you guys together. That is not my problem. Typically, too, most people like they pay extra. Sorry, my dog is over here like really bothering me.
No, you're good. I paid extra for my seats for my flights
Exactly. So why would I pay
because
extra to not get the extra that I paid for? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely
to
not.
not get the seat that I literally paid for because I'm not leaving it up to random chance because my luck is that I get the middle seat all the way in the back.
No,
I
literally.
don't want that.
Yeah, the next time this situation happens, if it ever happens to me, I'm gonna place a bid. You guys can get my ticket if y'all want to pay for it, but it's upcharged 3 times. There
Figure
you
it
go.
out.
Here's your family. Now we can sit together. Yeah, I just really don't bang with that. I just really feel like you guys should be seated together. Or let's say you didn't pay for your seats, because I know it's expensive. I know not everybody has like the money to be able to do that. When you get to the gate, ask them if they can rearrange some seats to make sure that some of you guys are sitting together. I think a lot of people just don't do that one step, and
No,
that's frustrating because it's like
that's
you had other ways to fix this, but you're now telling me to fix it for you, but it's not my problem. It's your problem.
they literally have people when you check in right before you board the flight.
Right
Like
before.
they have people there to answer your questions and to like figure this out for you.
Exactly. 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 Sorry. I don't know if you know that trending meme. I'm chronically online, so I always have like little audios playing in my head. That was so
With
bad.
it.
So bad.
Listen, I think our For You pages are so different because the chronically online that I am is the different than the chronically online you are.
No, they definitely are 100% different, but I always feel so stupid sometimes when I like say it and they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, so top comment on this is not the asshole. If the family wanted to be together, they could have paid to do so. And like I get it. Like you said, like sometimes like the family doesn't have like necessarily the funds to buy like the seats and everything, but you talk to people. And like also like did it really matter that the dad wasn't sitting with you?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I get that it's an 8-hour flight that is like pretty long, but I mean, I think also the kids' ages do determine, I mean, not determine, but the kids' ages do play a factor in this as well. I also feel like the younger that the child is, the more you as a parent should have made sure that you were sitting next to your child, like pay that extra expense instead of paying for the snacks that you guys bought at the airport right before boarding. That could have been saved to save your seat and bring, pack a sandwich or something.
Yeah, because I think it's up until the age of 2, they're considered lap children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, nah, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all.
I don't know. When we were coming back from Italy, we had, I shit you not, like 10 babies on our flight.
I would have crashed that bitch.
Lonnie was like, I'll crash the plane right now
No,
because one would
literally.
start crying and then it would like it was a chain reaction and then
No.
they would get them to stop crying and then like 20 minutes later another one on the other side of the plane
Oh
like would
my
start crying
God.
and then it would go all the way back. It was just like I was like, oh my god,
The
it's
baby
a direct flight to New York. It's a direct flight to New York. It's a direct flight to New York.
I think it's hilarious because everybody's always like, well, just get noise canceling headphones. They don't always work.
They
Okay.
don't.
Depending on how close this child is, they don't always work. And then on top of that, when you have kids that just be kicking the back of your seat and you're trying to take a nap, I'd be so pissed. I don't say anything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a very nice
I
flyer.
am
I shut the hell up. I do whatever I can do to alleviate all of my stress and issues on my own. But I do be annoyed and I complain about it as soon as I land.
my whole thing is like if you see your kid is actively kicking the seat in front of you, do something about it.
It's always the parents. Like, yeah, I never blame the children. It's always the parents. It's always the
Like
parents.
I get it, you're tired. You've like wrangling a kid in an airport does not sound easy.
No, actually, there was literally one time that I was on a flight. I want to say this was my first flight ever to Bermuda. And there was a baby screaming, 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 crying. And sometimes parents do like that cry out method,
Yeah.
which I think is totally fine to do in your own private environment. Do not do that in a public space. But they did this on the plane, and it was like this kind of like older guy, and he turned around and spazzes on the parents and the child. I mean, technically, the child was sitting right next to them, so I don't know if you would consider
Yeah.
them spazzes on them because he said that his mother just died and he literally is just leaving the funeral. Like the funeral was yesterday. He's now flying today. And he's like, mentally, I cannot do this right now. And you are just letting your child scream and cry. And they just were going back and forth, arguing with each other. But it's stuff like that that you really don't consider. It's like, yeah, okay, well, this is a kid and the kids are going to do what kids do. But it's also like as an adult or as an elderly person, they're also going through things that they can't stop and they're going through emotions that they can't hold back. So for you to just let your child do the cry out method and this guy's like literally mourning his mother, like it's just fucked. It's so fucked. So yeah, that whole
But
opinion is that topic is
it's not even just like that. So like my mom has bulging discs, she has rheumatoid arthritis, like she's a lot of medical issues.
okay.
She was on this one flight, I believe it was back from some Middle Eastern country or something. She had gone on a work trip. She was on her way back. The entire like 9.5 hour flight, this kid was kicking the back of her seat. And it's like my mom the next day, like she couldn't move. She was
Yeah.
in so much pain. And it's like you don't understand what mental, physical, like you don't know what somebody else is going through that's in front of you. So
Mhm.
stop your kid. And
No.
I hate the whole thing of like, oh, they're entertaining themselves. Really? Are they at the expense of other people? Is that what you're going to teach them?
Yeah, and there's so many like Amazon like toys that you can buy and stuff that are literally perfect and meant for airplane
For
rides.
a
I kind of want
airplane.
to play with them sometimes. Like they look like fun. So there's just too many. There's too many things and resources out there for this to still be an excuse in 2024. Absolutely not.
Listen, me and my dad used to fly every single year to Florida, and then me and my mom would fly other places all the time. They literally came together and bought like, oh my god, I'm literally showing my age. So those like old portable like like thick ass portable DVD players.
Hell yeah! 'Cause I used to have one. I love those. They were so fun. Especially when you like click it and it just opens up, and you felt like a mad scientist like trying to put in a new movie disc.
So my parents came together and bought one, and I had my little CD thing, but it wasn't CDs in there. It's just a bunch of movies. And so that's how that was my plane entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I never like, well, okay, but I also don't sit like a normal person. I would sit like crisscross applesauce in the
Yeah.
airplane.
Yeah.
I still try to do that, but I'm
Yeah. A little
I'm an
too big.
adult now, so it don't work. But I'd sit crisscross applesauce and I just watch like a movie or two or three or however long like the plane ride was, and
Mhm.
that was my entertainment. And it's like, I know you got an iPad, I know you got a phone, I like you got something.
Yeah. Or the people
Figure it
that
out.
like, let them watch their iPad show or whatever on like full volume.
Headphones. Oh my god, I had to have headphones in. My dad was like, "You're not doing this."
Yeah.
And the only time that I'm ever like, okay, whatever, is like, I know some kids have sensory issues because I had sensory issues and I still have sensory issues. Like,
Mhm.
I can't have headphones in too long, like the AirPods and everything, because my ears actually physically start to hurt.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's like, figure it out. Over the head ones, over the ear, whatever is comfortable for them, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all about, like, what's it called? Trial and error. Just figuring out
Yeah.
what works for you, but like you said, not at the expense of other people, and that's, like, where a lot of people just don't have the respect to do that.
It's like the whole thing where people are like, they'll get mad at like an influencer for like posting something and they'll be like, there are kids on this app. Okay. Watch what your kid is watching.
Exactly. Yeah,
It
exactly.
is not my job to filter out what your kid sees.
Precisely. Yeah. But people don't think of it from that perspective, and that's the problem.
No. So this next story is also off of r/ Am I the Asshole? Actually, all of these are.
I love that.
Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter go on a school trip by herself?
Okay.
My daughter, 20 female, is a lovely singer currently in her junior year of college at a music program in university.
Hell,
For clarification, she still lives at home and is a commuter student. Why could I not say student? Why did I stutter with student? When she was 18, her voice teacher chose her and a few students to compete in a regional voice competition about 3 hours away from home. The other students either drove with their teacher or by themselves and stayed at the same hotel. At that time, my daughter wanted to go alone too, but we said no, only because it seemed dangerous. An overnight trip with practical strangers in a city she's unfamiliar with is not ideal. Other reasons: the hotel chain they were staying at is gross and we could put them somewhere better, and we wanted to be there to support her and see her sing. My husband's my husband, my son, 14 male, and I all drove to the competition. No one looked at my daughter weird. There were many other parents there and everything went well. Flash forward to now, where she's been invited to do the same competition. We plan on going again, but my daughter says she wants to drive with a friend who's going along as well. Two young women driving by themselves to an unfamiliar place hours away where anything can happen, car breaks down, someone gets hurt, etc., does not sit right with me. She's also forgetting she is taking away our chance to support her and see her perform. This is all for her safety, but now my daughter is moping around the house because her parents want to support her, ensure her safety, and has her best interests at heart. Am I really the asshole in this situation?
yeah.
Yeah.
I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, like, your child is not gonna be a baby forever. Like, she needs to experience things, and I think a lot of, like, parents don't understand how much they're hindering the growth of their children when they don't allow them to do things by themselves and allow them to explore themselves.
Have you seen? So I saw this TikTok the other day where it was another podcast. I don't remember what it was. I don't actually follow them. It came up on my For You page. But
Ooh,
basically, they were talking about how a lot of the newer generation that is coming into the working force, like I think they said something like 20%, like 26%, 26% of the people that are going in for these interviews are bringing their parents with them, and 5% of that 26 parents answered the questions for them.
oh, no. No. We are actually doomed, like, our
I
future.
feel like that is these parents.
No, absolutely. Like, they're not allowing them to fly away from the coop, and
At no
have you ever met
point.
one of these, like, type of, like, people, though, like, where their parents have clearly helicoptered their home life? Like, they're I think I just, like, did not English for a second there. Something just fucking happened, I don't know what that was. Um, they're always, like, no shade, but they're always, like, weird as fuck. Like,
And it's like, at no point in either one of these situations did she need to ask her parents for permission. She's a grown adult.
grown, yep, legal adults. Like, and I get them wanting to respect your parents and stuff like that, but especially because they've already done this when she was 18, there is no reason for them to do it again when she's 20. You guys have seen her sing. You guys seen her sing her whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Watch it on YouTube. You'll be fine. Yeah, you are the asshole. Yeah.
Like, the boundaries need to be put in place at some point. Like, you're not going to be there for every single thing that she does, and she needs to travel and like
Mhm.
get out of her small town
And
by
explore.
herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
There's no sense of like indep- indep- indep-
independence.
independability.
But it's like I think about like this story and these parents, and then like my mom, who when I was in, I think I was a freshman, I went on an overnight school trip.
Hmm.
She wasn't there. We went
Yeah.
we went to a ski resort. Sure, there were chaperones there. They were
Yeah.
not watching us.
Yeah. Now I will say, as now that we're adults, we can all admit we shouldn't have been on them trips. We was doing
No, no,
we was
no,
doing
no, no, no,
exactly
no,
what our
no.
parents thought that we were not doing. So I get it,
Yeah,
but
I
also,
almost lost virginity that trip.
oh,
So like literally, there was no supervision.
yeah, no, I definitely been on a few trips like that in high school and in middle school. So like we're on the same page. But
It's
at the
like
same time,
let's be honest.
yeah, we got to explore ourselves. We got to figure out like what fingering is like. You know what I'm saying?
I experienced a lot of different things that trip, so it was
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and look
But
at us
it's
now.
like
We're fine. We're great.
I also got to experience being stranded on a slope because I did a cartwheel in my snowboard.
Oh, oh,
Not on purpose.
oh. Okay, okay. That
Not
because
on
that's
purpose.
a choice.
So I guess there was ice on the slope that they didn't like know about. And so I'm like going down. I think it was like because I hadn't torn my ligament yet. So I was snowboarding all the time. So I think it was like a blue, like square, whatever the blue, it goes green, blue, black, whatever. I think it was like a blue diamond. And I was
Mhm,
going down it and I didn't know that there was like a chunk of ice. And so I thought I was just going face down and put my hands out to
mhm.
catch myself. And then my friend goes, it was the weirdest thing ever. They were like, you went to like grab yourself. They were like, but the way that you did it was in the like way that you do a cartwheel. They're like, so we thought you were trying to do it on purpose.
At least he looked cool.
And then I'm just sitting on the sidelines, like holding my wrists. And I'm just like, can
No.
somebody get a medic, please? Because my friends didn't know anything was wrong. They kept going.
Oh my gosh. I
So
mean,
I'm just
yeah,
sitting up there and I'm like, I don't have my phone because I didn't want to get it wet.
yeah.
And I'm just like sitting up there and I'm like, it's so cold.
Oh my, how did you what
Some random person stopped
oh,
and like went all the way down.
we love a random
Um,
bystander. 'Cause
yeah, so a random bystander stopped, went all the way down to go tell like the medic people that they needed to come get me because like I wasn't sure if anything else was broken, like hurt or broken or anything at that point. I was like, I'm just sitting still because I don't even know if like I might have messed something up. I
did you actually
um
break your wrist then?
I didn't break my wrist, but I sprained it really badly and I actually bruised my kneecap on the right side.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah.
So like I knew that there was pain in throughout my entire body, but I just didn't know if anything was like broken or not.
Mhm.
Um and my friends actually were down there and they were like, what's taking Taylor so long?
Well, there's the
But
answer. I needed to go to the hospital, bitch.
yeah, literally.
Like oh my god.
So top comment on this one is you're the asshole. At 20, women are regularly living alone in college. Two young women driving by themselves to an unfamiliar place hours away where anything can happen. Yeah, and women are capable who are capable adults can deal with emergencies or unforeseen circumstances.
Literally.
You're kind of setting your child up to be the person that doesn't know what to do when their car breaks down, doesn't know what to do like
Mhm.
if somebody gets hurt, doesn't know what to do if like they're in a sketchy situation, or who can't
Emergency, yeah,
even recognize
yeah.
that they're in a sketchy situation. And that's so much more dangerous. The amount of times that I have been out with friends who are just like not aware,
Mhm.
and I'm like, bro, how have you not noticed a dude has literally been following us for 6 blocks?
No, literally.
Like, can we get some sort of like awareness going on here,
Yeah.
please, for the love of God?
Yeah, and it's intriguing, like, when you see it in person, I think especially because, like, I know how aware you are as a person, I know how aware I am as a person, and, like, just being around people that have no sense of paying attention to their surroundings is so, like I feel like it's fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they live a
It
very
must be
fun life.
amazing.
Yeah, just kinda no thoughts, 2 peanuts in the brain, but for people like us, it's mind-boggling to know that there are women and men, whatever, binary, da, da, da. There's just people out there in the world that don't care to pay attention to what's going on. No.
And I will say, I have had some friends tell me that they feel like they can do that because they know that I'm gonna be aware of the
Mhm,
situation
mhm.
for but they're like, "I only do that if it's just me and you going out because the moment I hear your tone change, I'm snapping right back into, like,
Yeah. Full
regular
trigger.
mode."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Well, I'm glad that, like, you feel safe and everything, but, like, I cannot imagine just walking around like la-di-di, la-di-da because, like, I'm ready to, like, listen, I've done it before, I'll do it again. I have hit a man in the head with my phone at a festival before because he was literally trying to, like, grab my friend in front of me, and she's, like, 5'2". And
Yeah,
he's, like, trying to grab her off the rails and, like, trying to, like, drag her away so he can take her spot, and I literally turned to him and I hit him in the head with my phone
as
because
you
'cause I'm
should.
like, "Get away from her. Don't
Yeah,
touch her."
yeah. I hope he had an OtterBox.
I did because this was back
Right.
in, like, 2016.
Or one of those, like, charging those, like, old charging
I
phone
actually,
phone
that's what I
cases.
think it was. It was
Oh, shit.
some, like,
Right,
hard case because
right.
this was, like, 2016 before, like, you really had, like, a sturdy phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, I hear a bunch of
What a
noise
time.
outside. I have to jet. I have to go. I'm sorry. Off topic though, I am gonna ask you a question later about what you're doing this weekend because I want to invite you to a little motorcycle thingy.
Okay, we'll see. Let me okay, what day is it?
It's on
So I can Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday? I
Yeah.
can probably swing it depending on the time.
Yeah, if you and Lonnie want to come. I know Ariel's going. I'm riding up with a group of people, but Ariel's gonna drive her car. Happy wanted to go, but I think she needs a ride.
Let me see, because my friend rides bikes.
Oh yeah, if she wants to, please let me know. I can give you the information on where we're like meeting up and stuff. Sorry, I meant to say this like when we were not on this call, but earlier today I didn't. When we started, I didn't know we started. So I
Listen,
thought
I can edit this out. We're good.
okay.
She'll respond. Bitch. Okay, see, and this is a chronically online person because why did she read it immediately?
Oh no. Maybe she was scrolling and she did that thing where she like taps it, like she tapped the like top of her phone. I do that all the time.
No, that's just her as a person. I love her for it though.
Oh,
She's doing mom things, so
I love that. And she rides bikes. I love that.
yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. Also,
That is why all of this is recorded so I can edit things out that I
perfect.
don't want actually out there. Because I have said, like, when me and DJ are on, I have said some wild shit, and DJ's like, "Please tell me you're cutting that out." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "It would not stay in here at all." It's like the most unhinged things. However, I am gonna start leaving some of my unhinged things in
I
here
think you
because
should. I think you absolutely should.
sometimes I say some really
Absolutely.
unhinged things.
Yeah. Oh, you are known for saying unhinged things, but it's not a bad thing. So
It's
I would keep it
not.
in there.
I'm going to.
Mhm.
So this last one is called Am I the Asshole for Being Hell-Bent on Visiting India with My Girlfriend?
India is a interesting place. Not for women. All right. So let's
Mhm.
get into this.
I don't think I don't see so like I like the I would love to go to Bali,
Hmm.
but I would have to do so much research before actually even going there
Yeah.
because I feel like it's such a different culture. So
Yeah.
like I feel like if it has to do with that, then like yeah, you're kind of the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's read this story. When this is all over and it's safer to travel, I want to visit India. I have always wanted to see the Qutb Minar because it's an amazing structure. Indians make amazing food, and I love things with lots of spice. I absolutely want to take a look at the Lotus Temple and so many other places because I love the architecture there. I want to see New Delhi and other places. My girlfriend, on the other hand, says that she's afraid to go with me because things we hear that happen to women in India. I keep telling her it's blown out of proportion. When it does happen, it only happens in the bad areas. And I'll obviously protect her if something were to happen, but she won't listen. Today, she yelled at me for bringing it up again. And I'm only thinking of myself for wanting to see these things at India. And I'm not thinking about her safety. But I think that if she listens to the media too much, that doesn't trust my ability to protect her because lots of other people do tourism in India. Who's the asshole here? You. Like, you're negating her worry for her safety.
Hmm. I think with also like just because he is, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. I think because he's a male too, he's not seeing it from the perspective of a woman. Last year specifically, I want to say it was around like Christmas time. There was like back to back videos on TikTok of women's experiences in India talking about how they inappropriately touched them, sexually assaulted them, groped them as they walked by, pulled their hair out, like crazy, ridiculously crazy stories. Then when that happened, there was a bunch of videos that were coming out. I literally watched a video of a man and his wife. They just recently got married and they were like on like one of those little like moped scooters or whatever.
Aw.
They rode through a group of Indian men. It was like maybe 20 of them. They literally started grabbing his wife and trying to pull her off of the scooter. And he was like trying to get away, but the scooter just was so fucking slow. And these guys literally just were chasing her, ripping her
Oh
dress
my
up, grabbing her,
God.
groping her breast. And the husband's like just mopeding off. But like, stuff like that happens. It doesn't matter if you think that you're a man and you're gonna protect her. You're gonna protect her against 20 Indian men. Come
No,
on, bro. Like there's certain circumstances that I think men don't realize happen because they're not seeing these side of TikTok. They're not watching the women that are talking about them getting sexually assaulted. That's not on their TikTok feed. Their TikTok
no.
feed is full of, I don't know, big booty bitches. I don't know what their feed is of. But like they just don't see that same perspective.
So, and it's like, so when me and Lonnie were still thinking about doing a honeymoon in Japan, the like amount of research that I did into like public transportation and like what would be safest for me, to the point where like even Lonnie, like he didn't know that I was even thinking about like this being our honeymoon location. He was starting to get it on his For You page. And so he would start sending me things about like, oh, you get on this cart during this day. You have to make sure that like if you get on the like co-ed cart, stand by the teenage boys because they still have this like, hero complex about them. And so if you like start getting touched anyway, they're going to be the ones to actually like do something about it. Whereas it's such a normal thing that other people won't and everything. So it's like when a woman is telling you that this stuff is happening in this country and it's a actual safety like factor that she needs to think about, listen to her because she
Yeah.
knows more about this shit than you do.
Yeah. Guys just always want to think that they're right. So it
Or
just
think that they're like this like manly man protector.
no,
Like, great.
literally.
You can probably protect me from the crackhead down the street, but you're not going to protect me against 20 men trying to touch me.
No, literally. And it happens so much in India. It's like specifically India too, and New Delhi.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about some, oh, we want to go to New Delhi, we want to go to all these places. So you did enough research to know where you wanted to go, but you didn't do enough research to see the actual safety concerns of each location. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, he is the asshole. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Where I'm going, I can't show my shoulders or my knees. And I literally am so fearful that
Mhm.
my friend is actually going to like do something to my hair and hide the color in my hair.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
you
literally
don't need that.
covering up all of
Your
my
tattoos.
tattoos
Yeah, you're gonna
and
have
everything because like I'm even taking my nails off. Like, I'm
mhm.
not playing the game of like, whatever. Like, and it's not even like I'm going to be exposed to the public there. Like, I'm going for work. I'm going to be in a very safe location. But
Mhm.
it's like I am going to have interactions with customs. I am going to have interaction in a different country as well because two
Mhm.
different countries actually. Three. Oh my God. I have so many layers. I have three different countries that I'm going to. One of them I feel perfectly safe in, but the
Mhm.
other two, it's like I have to think about their culture and the way that women dress and act there. And I have to act accordingly because I'm coming from America where we honestly have a lot more freedoms and liberties.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have tattoos. I'm allowed to have nails. I'm allowed to show my hair if I want to. Like, I'm
Express
allowed to
yourself. Yeah.
do that or not do that and not have to worry about my safety
Yeah.
as much. I still have to worry about my safety.
Yeah.
That's
I know, right?
neither here nor there.
We never say about here. I'm going to Washington, D.C. tonight. I got my blicky sticky diggy up in my purse. Like,
As you should. I hate going out to DC now so much.
literally same. Now, I don't even think I told you. Somebody hit my car last Sunday when I was
The new one?
not the new one, the one that I just got fixed because I got hit by a drunk driver a couple months ago.
That car is cursed. Listen, that car is cursed. You're not convincing me that car's not cursed. The amount of times it has been in the shop, the amount of times it has been hit, the amount of times like that
Yeah,
that car is cursed.
She's sad. She's sad in the garage right now, but it is what it is. You live and you learn, and don't go to DC. That's it.
No. All right. Well, that's all the stories I have for you today.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. That went by quickly.
It was. I told you. I was like, it usually is only an hour. Worst case, 2 hours, depending. Me and DJ get really off track, so our episodes go to like the 2-hour mark sometimes. But
That's fun though. No, that's definitely fun. I love the am I the asshole ones, especially when they're like about relationships. I think they're so hilarious because it's like these are real life people going through real life things, but you're sitting there like, why are you even asking us? You definitely are the asshole. Like,
the amount of people that come on to Am I the Asshole? And they come on with the thought that, like, I'm not the asshole. This person's the asshole. Like,
yeah,
and the internet's going to come behind me and support me. And the internet is like,
yeah,
no.
fully delusional. Fully delusional.
I read this one on last week's story, I want to say, about this dude who just had his wedding. And he was like, am I the asshole for going on my honeymoon together? Like, alone. No. No, Morgan, he actually wasn't.
What?
So her sister went into premature birth, however, premature labor. However, she didn't need to be there. And the sister even told her that she didn't need to be there because she had her husband, her father, her stepmother, and her in-laws all there. Her sister literally, it got to the point where her sister was like, get out of my house. You're not allowed to stay here anymore. And told the family, if you guys have her like staying with you, if I find out any of you guys are like housing her, you're not allowed to see my baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he was an asshole. Okay. Because that intro was a little, I was scared.
It was wild when I like saw it. I was like, oh, I got to read this one.
Yeah.
Because what is happening here? Because ain't no way you're not the asshole. And then I read it and I was like, oh.
Yeah. You know what? You're valid. Congratulations. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much to
Thank
Morgs
you.
versus the World for coming on. She is one of my dearest friends.
Yes.
Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. 5 stars review on Spotify and wherever you listen to us on. We will see you next Wednesday at 12.
Bye.
Bye.